traffic 26.
Shoot. Keep shoot.
Master 26, Bushmaster can move time now.
Later. Alright, firing.
Line here.
What you gather? What shoot?
202 traffic 26.
Keep shoot. Keep shoot.
Master 26, Bushmaster can move time now.
Later.
We are anonymous. It has come to our attention that the hero, Bradley Manning, has become the subject of a great controversy. This may not come as a surprise. His actions have been marked by controversy since he took a courageous leap of faith and decided to use his position as a communications officer to blow the whistle on the war crimes of this corrupt government, and bring into the light its lies and deceit. This controversy is coming from a single individual within the San Francisco Gay Pride Parade organization. This individual, Lisa L. Williams, has taken it upon herself, for reasons unknown, and, in essence, vetoed the will of the parade's electoral college. Sources say that Manning received 5 out of a total of 15 votes of the electoral college, the highest of any of the nominees. This electoral college, which consists of former grand marshals of the San Francisco Gay Pride Parade, fully understood the contribution to the world that the hero Private Bradley Manning had given selflessly. They understood the importance of his sacrifice. There are times when men of good conscience cannot blindly follow orders. Bradley Manning knew this well, but Lisa Williams decided to take it upon herself to override the wishes of the parade's electoral college, in effect disowning the orders, and the will, of the electoral college. If this had been the military, she would have been court-martialed, just like Bradley Manning. Lisa L. Williams then proceeded to issue a statement to the press. Here are some of the gems she spewed in this very set excuse for what she must think is public relations. Bradley Manning is facing the military justice system of this country. We all await the decision of that system. However, until that time, even the hint of support for actions which placed in harm's way the lives of our men and women in uniform, and countless others, military and civilian alike, will not be tolerated by the leadership of San Francisco Pride. It is, and would be, an insult to everyone, gay and straight, who has ever served in the military of this country. This statement from Lisa L. Williams basically, and not subtly whatsoever, does all but call Bradley Manning guilty, and insinuates that those that erroneously believe him to be innocent have the right to do so under the Constitution, but that they are wrong. Her tone also strikes a chord of severe obedience to the state and the military-industrial complex. Her belief is that anyone who denies the official story, or dissents, disobeys direct orders because of conscience, or participates in any form of civil disobedience must be morally and ethically corrupt. Lisa Williams, are you not African American? Was the struggle of the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Ruby Shuttlesworth, Lola H. Hendricks, and Leola Early, all of whom played pivotal roles in the fight for civil rights, primarily through civil disobedience, and almost always peaceful methods. These incredible individuals stood up against what was the status quo of their time, knew that there was something burning inside of them that screamed that there was something not right in the system, and that they had a unique position to change things. Do you fault these people for the roles they played in history? We owe all of these people a debt of gratitude for the sacrifices they made for the greater good of the human race, and society as a whole. There is a great man who resides in your city, Lisa L. Williams. A man who quite possibly through his courageous actions back in the year 1971 set in motion a chain of events that quite literally led to the end of the Vietnam War. That man was Daniel Ellsberg, the man who leaked a cache of documents that would later be referred to as the Pentagon Papers. And this courageous action in 1971 led the president and administration of that time to label him a traitor, and that he was guilty of treason. Much the same as Bradley Manning is being called by our current administration. I ask you now, Lisa L. Williams, how does history remember this act of bravery? Do we still call Ellsberg a traitor? No, we see that through his deed, we were able to see what our government did not want to be seen. Things that were, in fact, perpetuating the war. But, as sunshine is a powerful disinfectant, the truth being brought out into the light, forced changes into effect that needed to happen. This is what you must understand, Lisa L. Williams, that Bradley Manning will when all truths have been revealed, be seen by history as a hero, and that all of this condemnation by the president, administration, and people like you, will be seen as cowardice, deceit, and treachery. There is a good reason that the military did not want these files and videos to be publicized, because it shows the wanton disregard for human life that some in the military display. History will see the truth, and Bradley Manning will be vindicated in the historical record. You should want to be on the right side of history. Lisa L. Williams. In your statement of reasons why you rescinded Bradley Manning, you also threatened that even the mere hint of any support for the hero Bradley Manning would not be tolerated, as if this was a dictatorship. Does this not seem like a tyrannical statement? That even the mere hint of any support would not be tolerated? Lisa Williams, who do you think you are? Have you no shame, ordering people in your organization to stifle their deeply felt admiration and gratitude for one of the bravest, most selfless people of any orientation? Seems like you are attempting to liken yourself to the thought police. You state that for anyone to show any hint of support for Manning would be an insult to anyone gay or straight who has ever served in the military of this country, stating that Manning's actions put our men and women in uniform in harm's way, echoing the rhetoric of top military officials, rhetoric which has since been extensively debunked. And furthermore, it is the US government and our military that are guilty of quote actions which placed in harm's way the lives of our men and women in uniform, and quote, as you so eloquently put it. Lisa Williams. Anonymous would like to know, when did the San Francisco Pride Parade organization adopt such high ethical standards? It certainly was not when you are accepting the monetary contributions of your corrupt major corporate sponsors, such as Bank of America, who have been sued several times for their shady, illegal and unethical business practices. Most notably, they were sued for $1 billion by the US government, for rampant, systematic mortgage fraud schemes. Wells Fargo, another of SF Pride's major contributors and sponsor, is guilty of many of the same acts of fraud, and both played major roles in the 2008 collapse of the financial industry. Your newfound ethical standards were certainly not in place when you took money from the sponsor Clear Channel, owned by Bain Capital. Clear Channel, which hosts such radio personalities as Glenn Beck and Rush Limbaugh, who must be great proponents of the Gay Pride Parade, are they not? SF Pride's list of corrupt sponsors goes on. Verizon and AT&T, the two telecom giants who were more than willing to give over personal information of people to the Bush administration, colloquially known as warrantless wiretapping. Kaiser Permanente, also guilty of privacy violations, divulging of personal records and literal ousting to the street of patients not able to pay their bill. Shall we go on? All of these corporations are guilty of much worse things than Bradley Manning. All he is guilty of is revealing the truth, and for that he should be commended. We at Anonymous, in response to your incompetence, Lisa L. Williams, do hereby engage Operation Grand Marshal Manning. This operation demands that you, Lisa L. Williams, either reinstate Private Bradley Manning as Grand Marshal in the San Francisco Gay Pride Parade, or if your superior ethical intellect prevents you from doing so, that you step down as head of the SF Gay Pride Commission and allow someone to take your place and reinstate Private Bradley Manning as Grand Marshal. Failing to do so will result in consequences determined by the collective. This, Lisa L. Williams, is our main demand. The hero Bradley Manning must be reinstated as Grand Marshal. If the SF Pride Parade is to continue to be a bastion of gay liberation, gay pride, and claim to represent the interests of the gay community at large, then you must listen to the gay community. Many other institutions in the community have come out in support of Bradley Manning being reinstated. These institutions and organizations include Queer Strike, Gay Liberation Network, Gays Without Borders, ACT UP San Francisco, the Harvey Milk LGBT Democratic Club, the Iraq Veterans Against the War, and many others. And now to the greater community at large, we ask that you come out and make your presence in support of Private Bradley Manning known. Anonymous, as well as many other community organizations, occupiers, activists, and anyone with a conscience are urged to meet at 10 a.m. on Sunday, June 30th at the intersection of Howard and Beale Street in San Francisco. We will be marching in the parade to show our support for the hero Private First Class Bradley Manning. Despite the SF Pride Board publicly maligning and rescinding Manning as Grand Marshal, we will be marching in solidarity and en masse. In the midst of the summer military trial, it's the most crucial time to support our whistleblower and People's Parade Grand Marshal. Manning is in prison for all of us. Now let's come out for Bradley Manning. Grand Marshal, not court-martialed. Anonymous Operation Grand Marshal Manning engaged. Lisa L. Williams, you have been warned. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Lisa L. Williams, it is too late to expect us. We are already here.